you might recognize this game from last semester. Basically, Brandon at the end of the semester offered it to me. He was like, hey, if you want to continue it, feel free. There's already good base there. So I took him up on the offer. So this is Chromatic. It's basically the main idea behind Chromatic is that you're filling in the world with color. It's a platformer 2D side scroller. And as you go along the game, you unlock new colors and abilities after you defeat each boss. And so basically the idea is you have that picture on the left, which is grayscale, and then you have the picture on the right, which once you unlock the green and the blue color, it'll color that in. And so so far this project has been made in Unity, so that's what we're keeping with. And how the progression works is there's basically a main stage area in the middle of everything, and you'll walk over to the new areas as you unlock different colors. So the first level is the green level that we already have done. And essentially what happens after the green level is you unlock the blue color. And when you unlock the blue color, there will be in the main lobby a sort of blocked path that'll color in blue. And then suddenly it's a waterfall that you can walk past to get to the new area. And so that's how the progression works in the game. Just unlock colors and it unlocks a new entrance to a new level. So far we do have a good bit of progress. We have main menu, pause menu, and like a first level. So I just recorded little clips from it. Probably not put well together, but oh, okay, hold on. Okay.
Oh, cool, it crashed.
I've never seen that before.
I have no idea what I did.
I just want to see if it's going to crash again.
So that's just the main menu right there, and that's the grayscale background. And the rest of this is just basic player movement. And then that is the main turret enemy, and this is showing the pause menu, sort of just how it works. You have settings, you can change sound, which isn't implemented because there isn't any sound right now, but and all of this is still in the green level. Yeah. And that is the first boss. As you can see, there aren't animations right there because I didn't really script them in until earlier today. But it does work, and then it does unlock the blue color once you defeat the boss. Okay, there we go. So basically recap, first level, everything you saw there was the green level. It's got a boss included. The coloring and the world mechanic is done. Main player movement, basic player movement. It's also done along with climbing and double jumping. And then there are 2 or 3 enemies that are already scripted in the game. So going forward, making new levels will be a lot easier than last semester just because the baseline for everything is already done. And how the level setup works is each level will have a sort of different physics or obstacles, and along with 2 enemies. So basically for the green level, you saw there were, for the green level, there are 2 enemies there. Right now it's the dragonfly, and you saw the turret, which is just a bunny on a log that shoots stuff at you. And then also a boss for each one to unlock the new color. And so the project goals for this semester, to complete the game, which I think is very doable. So these necessary goals are the tutorial level, the second level, which is the blue level, and some sort of final challenge. I use the word final challenge there just because as we develop more, there will be more added to the final challenge level based on the different mechanics that are in the game. So those are the necessary goals, very, very doable. As for that next level of goals, the third level and the final boss, those more depend on how many people we have, because for example, if no one joins the project and it's just me, I can't get through all those 5 bullet points. But if we have more people, I think those are pretty doable. And then the reach goal for this project is to complete the 4th level as well, which would be the red level. And that one, theoretically, when I mapped out the progress of all this, it is possible, but it might take a little more work if that'll be reached. So what we need in this project are, first of all, artists. As you can see here, we had about 3 or 4 different artists that worked on this kind of stuff. Right now, confirmed on the project, since I didn't really tell a ton of people about it because I didn't get it approved till like last night because I was busy at a retreat. So right now, it's just me and 1 other artist. So we really need artists because the more artists we have, the more we can do. And then the style right now is sort of cartoonish, kind of cute and angry, but I am open to other styles. Also, we could use a producer who wants to make some sort of soundtrack. The idea, right now we have 1 song. I just had to put it in the game. But the idea is that we start with some sort of simple song and then it gains in complexity as the world color gains in complexity. And then lastly, we also need game developers because right now it's just me confirmed. And anyone from last semester is totally welcome to join now that this project is pitched and everything. Because yeah, I think that's basically it. This is my contact info. You're welcome to email me if you want to, but you can also just Discord me. And I think that's it. I don't know if I'm forgetting something, but does anyone have any questions?
What kind of like soundtrack are you looking for?
Like theme?
Yeah, like genre, I guess.
Probably with
Can you
how
give an example of another game's music that you want to be similar to as well?
I like kind of the bounciness of not Mario, not the 8-bit kind of sound, but the bounciness of that. Just something a little brighter. I can't think of anything. Maybe,
Super Mario World.
yeah, maybe sort of like Terraria, but with less. I don't know. Just kind of a lighter deal to go with all the colors.
It would be like a Super Nintendo sound font.
Kind of, yeah, less 8-bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, with the music, I'm open to anything. Cool.
I had it pulled up and PowerPoint crashed. Okay. You can see what I'm talking about with the weird.
Do I just click on the thing or how does it? Oh, I can click the arrow.
Also use the arrow.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so my game is tentatively called Z's Get Degrees. So what that kind of means is the setting of it. So it's going to be based around a college campus, kind of inside of a contained zombie outbreak, kind of just defining the level barrier is why I put the word contained. But the gameplay is it's a stealth-based roguelike. So your goal is to go and cure all the zombies, but obviously you don't want to just start shooting them and drawing attention and stuff, so you're trying to be more stealthy. And your goal is either to cure or kill all the zombies with like more of a goal for score and stuff toward curing them. The other goal is like there's buildings. The idea is that there's going to be buildings all over the campus, and your goal is to do something to cure each building until every building on campus and every zombie is cured, and that's how you win. more or less. And so I said that the gameplay is 2D, but the map is 3D, which is a bit weird. And this is the interesting idea I had with the game, if I can figure out how to play it. So this is where I'm at so far. So you can move on one axis at a time. And when you get to an intersection, you can turn and kind of navigate that like 3D map up there by going intersections and turning. And then the other thing is that, which I'll show in a second, that you can flip the camera whenever you aren't at an intersection. I did it there for no reason, but you can flip it wherever so that you can just kind of see where you're at in the world, but you're only navigating on one axis at a time. And so besides that, okay. So as far as art and music stuff goes, I don't really have any ideas specifically about art. I do know that it needs to be 3D. And what I've been picturing also, because I've been using like basic assets from Unity, is I'm picturing kind of from like Link's Awakening, like a toy kind of like cute style, but it doesn't really have to be anything particular. If anybody wants to tell me 3D art, I'd be happy to see anything. And then I have a buddy of mine who's doing the musics and the sounds, so probably gonna just mainly do that. The goals for the semester are to finish doing the stuff with the camera player movement. It's mostly there, but there's some small bugs I need to tweak and stuff. I need to make the enemies stealth and detection mechanics, implement a way to kill and damage enemies, and then a score system, maybe. I'm not really sure if I want a score system or not. Maybe it's like money, it's not really set in stone. A mini map, because navigating the world in that way is kind of disorienting. But if you have a map over top, it makes it cool rather than just a bit annoying. And then the goal to make it all a roguelike actually is to maybe get some of that procedural level generation done. But that's hope. I don't know how much effort that takes and where we'll be at. So that's like the last thing. So yeah, and I think that's everything I've got. Yeah. I think, yeah. Any questions?
In the demo you provided, I noticed a lot of your maps are designed up in corridors. Are you going to try to make like your buildings like classrooms, or are you going to try to have some wide open spaces?
So my current plan, and I've been in my head a lot of times I was thinking about it, it was going to be like, I'm picturing like a library for certain areas, a lot of like kind of corridors.
Yeah.
And then also like if you turn down somewhere, you could lose an enemy, stuff like that. So I think but then also having open spaces to where zombies can see you everywhere. So you need to get some, for now, the corridor system was easier to make and implement and show off. So I could explain the concept, but I'm happy to go in whatever direction I can that makes it cool and fun. You have a question?
Yeah, that navigation system is really cool. How'd you come up with that?
I just had this picture in my head, and if you guys know the game Fez, where you navigate around like the outside of like a little cube and you can turn the camera, I kind of pictured that too. But I like the idea of I was working a lot in 2D games, and I was like, okay, well, how can I make a 3D game that still seems relatively simple? And then the second I started doing it, I was like, oh, this is actually still just as complicated. I'm making a 3D game, but I think it's fun and different. Is the main thing. It's different, so that's cool. But yeah. Any other question?
So how do you imagine stealth working? Because it is this kind of 2.5D, I guess.
Yeah.
System. So is it going to be like zombies kind of have pathing and you can hide behind cover, or do you imagine?
I'm imagining right now that so they'll path toward maybe like those intersections, and then if they get to an intersection, they'll check like if they can see you from a certain distance, and so you just have to kind of get a certain distance away from that intersection, or maybe take another turn. But that's like they'll probably target the intersection you last turned at, is where I'm picturing right now. But yeah, I mean I still haven't done anything yet for the enemies, so we'll just start seeing when we get there. Yep.
So are you kind of locked to, I saw like you had a little bit of depth in that corridor, or are you just locked at the center of that?
So yeah, the way I made it work is when you get to an intersection, every time you turn, it puts you on like a certain X and a certain Z. And then if you like, that's every time you get there, or every time you do a turn. When you do the flip, it just moves the camera, it doesn't move the player. But yeah, so you effectively can only move on those certain precise axes. So it makes it, like I said, a completely 2D experience.
So like, what kind of weapons are you thinking, like guns or like melee? Or
I'm thinking just melee. My idea was you have a syringe and you have to like melee the enemy with a syringe to cure them. And maybe it only has like a certain number of charges before you have to go back to like a base to refill it. So that all those little things that make it harder to do the curing, but you get more points or money or something. And then you have a knife that your guy carries for like if you don't have any other option, and it'll maybe be faster. This is all just, working in my head.
Do you have any ideas like what you get out? Like if you cure someone who will they potentially like become an ally?
No, they're now they're annoying too because you have to try to keep them cured. You got to figure out a way to get everybody healthy because so the idea is like if you're inside like a bubble, like they've quarantined the campus, and so you have to try to cure everybody in there, and maybe there'll be like a counter at the top of the screen that says this is how many zombies you have to cure, and that's what you're working toward.
I kind of was thinking about this. So will you have sort of like an open world aspect where you have to manage each building, or will it be kind of like Doom, where okay, we're in this building, we cleared everything out, go to the next.
So my idea is you'll go into the building and like you'll have like a vial or something you put into the water supply of the building and activate a fire alarm, and it'll spray everybody inside. And then after you're done, you can like lock the building and everybody inside is secured or something. And then the other idea was once you do the fire alarm, there's gonna be like a stadium or an arena, and that's where like most of the zombies are. Once you cure a building, that fire alarm's going off. Now they hear that and they're gonna create a path that blocks off your other paths from that arena toward the thing. And so now you have to figure out a way. And my other idea was to get them all back into the arena to cure them or something. Maybe place like there's kind of like a Left 4 Dead thing that like draws all the zombies in. I don't know, but this is all we're working on stuff. Any other questions?
Yes.
Okay,
So can you hear me? Everyone?
I can hear you.
Okay. So when it comes to combat, since movement is just going from like intersection to intersection, you would have to like wait for a zombie to like travel between intersections, and then you would travel like towards the zombie in between intersections, and then that's when you can choose syringe or knife or whatever you have equipped.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, that's my game. Z's get degrees. That's the working title. I think it's really cool. That's what I got.